Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be doing the best case scenario for Joe Biden in the 2024 election. Previous video I made was the best case scenario for Donald Trump in the 2024 election. This time, it's going to be for Joe Biden. Certainly, people that made best case scenarios for Joe Biden in 2020 had him getting, in some instances, upwards of 400 electoral votes, giving him Texas, giving him a bunch of states, some even giving him Montana. Now, Joe Biden is in a very, very different position this election than he was 4 years ago. Donald Trump is in a very, very different position this election than he was 4 years ago. Hence, in my previous video, if you watched it, Donald Trump did very well in his best case scenario electoral prediction. He got about 340, 350 electoral votes. I'm just going to say this now. You're not going to see any candidate in the near future, in my opinion, win in a modern political landslide election. A best case scenario victory, a modern landslide victory, would be anywhere in the 350 plus electoral range. That would be considered, in my opinion, what you would see. That's what we saw with Barack Obama in 2008. That's what we saw with the Bill Clinton range. Bill Clinton never got above 400 electoral votes either, both in 92 and in 96. So that's just given the polarization of the country, Joe Biden's best case scenario, in my mind, possibly may not even get to 350 electoral votes at this point in time. But with that being said, let's get into our safe Biden states. Of course, in a best case scenario, Biden is going to win a lot of these states by safe margins. I guess you could leave New Mexico out of it for the time being. But, when you would, in the previous video, when you looked at Trump in his best case scenario, states like New York were not safe. They were likely states, including New Jersey. But now Biden is at 191 electoral votes, and that's typically the Democrat safe spot, plus or minus Colorado, which has now become more of a Democrat state. Safe Republican states, Alaska, Montana are not going to be safe Republican states, but I'm just going to tell you now, Joe Biden's not going to be winning them. I'll include South Carolina as a safe Republican. Actually, I'll leave it out. I'll put it in the likely category. So 191 electoral votes to 109 electoral votes for Donald Trump. Likely Biden states. You're going to get the state of New Mexico. You're going to get the state of Virginia, which some polls have shown Virginia becoming pretty competitive these last few weeks, these last few months. Joe Biden, in the best case, would significantly turn that around and win it by similar margins that he did in 2020, about 10 points. Another likely state would be the state of Minnesota. He won that state by 7 points back in 2020, as well as New Hampshire, as well as Maine at large, as well as Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District, and the state of Michigan, which we are seeing some recent polls rebound in Biden's favor. Joe Biden performing better in Michigan than he is in any other states. Now, keep in mind, this is the best case scenario. This is not my actual election prediction, but he would win Michigan by over 5 points in his best case scenario. I would not see that happening for states like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania against a candidate like Donald Trump. Likely states for Donald Trump, this would be the state of Montana. This would be South Carolina. This would be Alaska. This would also be, in my mind, Maine's 2nd Congressional District. I really don't think President Biden has much of a shot at Maine's 2nd Congressional District. I think Trump would still win it by a likely margin, as well as the state of Iowa, getting him to 132 electoral votes. Lean Biden states. You're going to have the state of Wisconsin lean in favor of Biden. The state of Pennsylvania, of course, that means he wins re-election, 270 on the dot. As well as the state of Nevada, the state of Arizona, and the state of Georgia, getting Joe Biden to 303 electoral votes, winning every single state that he did back in 2020. However, given the census and the reallocation of electoral votes, it wouldn't be 306. He would only get 303. Doesn't mean he's not going to expand, but only 303 for Biden. Lean Trump states, that's going to be the state of Ohio. That's going to be the state of Florida. That's also going to be the state of Texas. I think Donald Trump will sweep those 3 states, especially Ohio and Florida, which previously were considered toss-up states. Even in a best-case scenario for Joe Biden, he would struggle to win those states. However, the one state that he could flip is the state of North Carolina. That's the only state I think that Joe Biden could flip, expanding on his lead from 2020. So this is obviously Biden victory. It's a best case scenario, but given that it's a best case scenario, it's not the best look for President Biden, only getting 319 electoral votes. Donald Trump got 338 or 340, I don't remember. However, Joe Biden, of course, does win this election in this scenario. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and let's just fill in the map. All right, thank you for watching, and have a great day. I'll see you soon.